Hello, and welcome back to my GTNH playthrough. It is Wednesday the 14th. We're here over my water treatment area. I was just kind of checking on the state of water. We did get the grade 6 water set up yesterday. So we can see I'm a little shy on water. I'm missing 4, 5, and 6, but that's not it's not due to extra functionality. I was putting it to use today, but I do have this running on single thread, so it should be running grade 4 right now. Nice. So see, using 8,000. I'm keeping it to 8 million EU per tick right now for everything except for grade 6 water, just because grade 6 water will run indefinitely whenever it's caught up. But it isn't just so I don't accidentally put myself in a weird power situation for the main base. I did notice, however, that I am, if I type in NAC fuel, pretty steadily keeping gaining even with running this at the 8 million EU per tick. So I'm kind of tempted to throw down a second NAC fuel reactor specifically for the water line, just so I can make sure I keep up with water. And just a kind of a friendly reminder, this is mostly optimized except for this LCR, which is making my NAC 2 fuel, but I could very easily upgrade this. And there's a few other things I could do to optimize them here, but I think not, I don't want to say this week, but probably next week we'll be making NAC 3 fuel, I imagine, because I think, honestly, it should just be making dense stuff and utilizing the waste from that. It might even be a case where, actually, now I'm thinking about it, I didn't think about this before, so sorry for the ramble. I think once I upgrade the main one to NAC 3 fuel, I'll make this guy run NAC 1 fuel, because then I can run a ton of parallels, but also still be getting the byproducts, because the byproducts are used, or at least some of the stuff. I have to keep making the fuel over here, essentially, for some of the products to make NAC 3 fuel. So, yeah. That sounds like a plan to me. So anyways, enough about water. This all still works. I didn't make any changes to here. I didn't even pull that stick out. It runs just fine with the stick in there. This all keeps up. So like this guy actually kind of shut off at the most unfortunate time because it wants to start with this lens. So it's going to do a full cycle. But I didn't bother fixing that logic, and it hasn't seemed to cause too many failures or anything. I didn't forget to mention yesterday, I was thinking about it as I was recording it, I do have obviously grade 6 water coming in here, and now that I noticed that, I do realize one mistake I forgot to do. This needs to be set to a higher priority, just so that the grade 6 water comes here first. That way we're getting the bonus 15%. Remember, the 15% is additive. And the way the grade 6 water works is for every successful lens change you get 10%. So without having the dilithium lens, which is what the stick represents, we only have a base chance of 80%. That grade 6 water going in there will give us 95. So we'll always have a 5% chance of failure until we get dilithium. But we're quite a long way from there. But yeah, anyways, that's enough about the water. One real minor thing I have going is we don't actually have too much to go over on this one, so I can ramble a little bit, is I did decide to hijack this guy for the moment. I probably need to actually, now that I think about it though, cut these guys off for a few minutes. I wonder how I could do that. Because basically what's going on here is these guys are just running, this thing's constantly making me neutronium, because that was one of the slow things from my compact reactor, which I actually now have enough neutronium that I can make I believe I can make the compact reactor without having to wait on anything. Let's see, compact Mark III. Let's just do my daily test of checking for what I need to do. Americanium ingots, easy enough. That's just in the solidifier, I think. If not, I need to make a solidifier recipe. I might. Circuits were good. Ooh, I do want to do this wafer. What is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's one thing I want to improve before I actually fire this craft off, I think. But what do I need this wafer for? Nor. Oh, yeah, this will actually go away too here shortly. Nice. And then let's see for this guy. See, I have 18 randomly, so I would need 542 iridium. Well, that's a problem. That means something's broken somewhere on the base. Also, superconductor LUV. Why? I don't understand why that one wouldn't be available. Oh. Did I forget to put that pattern back? That'd be really unfortunate. Superconductor base. Super base. Should just be ingot. Got that one, that one. Yeah, where's my superconductor LUV? What is happening? I hope something didn't explode over here. It's been a while since I've looked at that. That's unfortunate because I had that going on a... Well, everything looks fine there. The reactors are still visible. So it's also a good sign. As far as I'm aware, the pattern for that was... Yeah, the pattern's right here. Okay, why is this device offline is the real question. 0 channels. Linked. Device online. Sorry, this is not what I actually intended. I'm just glad I noticed it. Like, why is everything offline down here? Where's my network? I know my AE network isn't like touching and doing anything weird because or else I wouldn't be able to do this searching right now. Oh. Woo. Red. Visualizing. Show everything. What is going on? What if I just exit this? Is there... No, that doesn't. Got 1 going that way and it's connected. 4, 6. Well, it said the device is online, so there has to be a problem over here. Network obviously has power. This guy's running just fine. Yeah, it doesn't even use 150. Okay, well, I don't want to waste everyone's time. I'll come fix that later. That is an issue, though. It's concerning, and I don't see what's wrong with it. But to the main thing I got done today, so after I got the water, there were 2 things. So the first is this is now fully actually set up, running, all the wiring's done. This was really fun. I really like the Beamlines. They're really cool. See, in this case, I went a little colorful with all the different wires we got going on, to kind of run through what's actually happening here, though. So for to come in here, I've got 2 different AE networks coming in. The red is the power sub network from over at that base, or over by that Beamline, that, what's it called? Lapotron battery is powering everything over here as well. Kind of might have been a mistake, but it's easily rectified if I'm basically only have 1 channel left on that on this little subnetwork here. But if it really becomes a problem, I can just throw a supercapacitor over here, cut this off, and because this guy has 20 channels by itself, and then I'll have plenty of channels for everything. But For the moment, it's fine. I think if anything, I only need one more power thing over here, but I'll get to that in a second. So red is obviously power, and then you can kind of trace the red lines to all the various battery types throughout this. Then if we come over here, green is just like a maintenance line. All it's doing, if we were to come over here, instead of using what I have been doing with the Ender IO conduit, I decided to try out this method where I just export the 4 items into an ME interface, and then all it is all the 8 hatches and stuff all just have storage buses on them. And yeah, it seems to be has some weird things going on for some reason. Oh, you know what it is? I actually just figured out what the problem is. That's funny. But well, actually, no, I didn't figure out. That doesn't make any sense. It should be working. I don't really understand why this is not fully exporting to fill out all the maintenance hatches. So this might end up having to get changed long term because it's not quite working as intended right now. The blue line is the water coming out, and you can see all it is if we were to look at the 8 different output buses from the linear accelerators and the synchrotrons, those come, all they are ME output buses. Let me put the fodder away before I actually break something. Come to this fluid storage bus, go in a dual network or dual interface back in the main network. The orange one is the same. It's an output bus just for items though, which just connect to here. I have them connected to the output buses on the source chambers, but I'm still very unclear what actually is coming out of the source chambers on the output bus that they need them. Because as far as I'm aware, there's no byproduct. So I don't really know why, but whatever. I figured I'd connect it up. Plus, it looks kind of cool just having more colors up there. The blue is providing the supercoolant to, again, the 4 linear accelerators, 4 synchrotrons. And then finally, we got the purple, which is here for the 4 different lines. Or 4 different, all the purples don't connect. They're just to their own individual linear accelerator. And these are where we're putting our patterns in. And then similar to the ones I talked about before, I just kind of kept writing them down here, where we got the QP, for example, I've only done 3 so far. There are at least 5 by default I want to get going. So I got QPIC, CPU, and Nano CPU. And then I think I forgot about ASOC is another common one. So I'll probably get 6 right off the bat. And then just whenever I see something pop up, I'm going to fix the recipe, get it on here, get it out of the other portions of the AU network, speed it up, and be good. But again, the time this is coming from the Beamline calculator online, mask uses come right from what's called NEI. So like if we're typing QPIC, got mask uses 50. So like in this case, then the number of lithium rods that we need is just the 2.35 times 50. And then it gives me 117.5, which this isn't quite right. It's nearly right, but it'll leave you with a 0% wafer. So in my case, I just added like 5 and it works. Then same thing, the CPU one, same thing, 0.8 seconds from the spreadsheet, 10 uses per mask. Says only 8 rods. This one definitely didn't work. Wasn't even close. So I just doubled it. I put 16 rods and again, perfectly fine. It's such a small recipe. I don't care about fine tuning the rods down. I should say I'm going to be a lot more liberal with the recipes now for sure too, because one of the void miners that I got caught or set up for, I think is the one I accidentally put in the Toxic Everglades or something. One of them is getting me lanthanide as a byproduct. So before I had only like 3,000 rods. Now I have a ton. We're not running out of that anytime soon. And unless the crafting gets crazy, yeah, we're at like 19K. We'll be fine. Then same thing down here. And for the patterns, for the patterns, we use 1 mask, the number of rods here plus like 5. And then over here to get what the result's supposed to be, And then the mask determines the number of wafers. I'm just going to use American wafers for all of them because I want this. We're focused on speed and gets us 100. The American gets us 128 as it's here for it. So in this case, it's 50 times 128, 6,400, 10 times 128, 1,280. Down here, 60 times 128, 7,680. So we're getting a ton. These are already significantly faster. And yeah, they're all set up. I did have to do a minor addition over here. So for QPIC wafers to begin with, I'm glad I did that one first because you need what's called the tier 3 mask or T3 mask, which are these guys here. And to do that, this whole process up to this point gets us the tier 2 mask. The tier 3 mask was pretty straightforward though to get on top of that. So I just had to set up this LCR essentially is making me formaldehyde. So the first one is making me formaldehyde, which is then making me floral form. And it's set up like this. The formaldehyde doesn't even go into the main network because surprisingly that only is used in this one recipe. So no point in putting in the main network. Comes over here, comes into this mixer. And that, if we were to follow this recipe back, gets us this reactive ion etching mixture, which we then mix with the substrate, which is on this autoclave over here. This autoclave basically stays back up anyways, because I have it's the one that's making me my initial substrate. But again, I don't have this going to the main network because it's more than able to keep up with the rest of the process. So a lot of the times this guy already was just sitting idle. So I just threw the pattern over here for this etch mask, which so yeah, this guy crafts that, and then the etch mask itself is used in a recipe over here for the pyro. Now, this is the part where I was kind of technically being lazy. It works over here because everything is currently keeping up. But again, if I need to expand, the two machines that would need to be expanded out of all this stuff would be these two pyros being spread out into probably 4. Sorry, I keep calling them pyros, volcanuses. These two volcanuses should become 4 volcanuses. And then this laser engraver, whenever we get to the point where this isn't keeping up and I need to go faster, this thing 100% will be the other bottleneck, where right now all of my different laser engravings specifically for etching and these masks to get to this guy are coming through here. So I would just make more laser engravers, one for each pattern, for example. But right now the masks and everything I threw them all on this level maintainer, and then just because I'm running out of channels over here, I threw 3 more level engravers over here because that's a fresh P2P network. It's only I think it only took 8 channels altogether to fully set up those 4 beamlines. So yeah, because it was the 4 patterns and then the 4 sub networks that are making all that work. So yeah, that's basically what I got going on today. So for tonight, I guess I got a couple. Tonight, I need to figure out why that LUV base pattern, that little area down there, is offline. I need to figure out why I don't have iridium, because that's a problem. I'm assuming I have had a power outage or something, because all this should be functioning. Let's just go see. The iridium mostly comes through this mega right here. So let's see what we got going on. This is empty, so it means something's backed up. Iridium chloride. So wherever I make iridium chloride over here, I can't quite remember because I didn't label all this, but I'll find it. I'll fix that, get iridium rolling again, and then the actual next progression thing to help craft the fusion reactor that we're working towards. I do want to do you can see my crazy Thaumcraft node all the way over here. That's funny. The advanced assembly lines, which I showed off at the end of the episode that I've set one up, but I haven't messed around with how to make sure it works right. I want to do that for LEV motors and pumps because we use a ton of those specifically for the LEV superconductor because they're the superconducting coil base. And then I want to do the same thing for the UV motors and stuff, and then just get on good practice of putting all the motors on advanced assembly lines. If I'm reading it right, it should one, go faster already, and then two, be parallelized up to by 5. So it should be a very good upgrade compared to what I got going on. And then also be able to make the different types of motors at once because all my motors are on the same assembly line. So that's what I'm going to work on for the rest of the night. Appreciate everyone for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.